Welcome to Bruhan Mumbai Municipal Corporation's Virtual Training Center, and I am Mrs. Nehal Kodambe, your English teacher from VTC. Let's begin with today's session.
My dear children, welcome to today's session. So, we are there again for the English class. Children, in today's session, we are going to continue with our skit, a play. And today we are going to watch second part of this play. As you know, in last session, we have started watching a very humorous play, Andher Nagari Chaupat Raja, which was written by Sri Bhartendra Harishchandra, and we are watching its English version. So let's continue with the second part. So in the beginning, we will have the recap of the last scene of the first part. So we have seen that moneylender and his daughter was brought into the court in front of the king, and king ordered to hang the moneylender's daughter. But then when the moneylender's daughter clears her side and she accuses goldsmith for the death of the thief, then the king orders to send for the goldsmith without any delay, and he must be hanged. So let's continue with the second part. Then the goldsmith was dragged into the court by the guards, you can see here, and then what does he say? He says, "O noble king, I beg of you, how can you give me such a harsh sentence? I was merely following your orders to the letter. You commanded me to set aside all my work and get the queen's ornaments ready before her highness's birthday. So there has been a delay in making these ladies' bridal ornaments. In the name of justice, your highness, pardon me, spare my life. I was just following your highness's orders." So here, now this is Goldsmith's turn to clear his side. He says, "O noble king, I beg you, I am asking you for the justice. How can giving me such a harsh sentence? Sentence means hang. I was merely following your orders to the letter. I was totally 100% following your orders given to me. You commanded me to set aside all my work and get the queen's ornaments ready before her highness's birthday. Queen's birthday was there, and you ordered me to keep all my work aside and look at the queen's ornaments before her birthday. It will get ready. So there has been a delay in making this lady's bridal ornaments. Your highness, I have kept aside all my work and I was making queen's ornaments, and that's why it was a delay in making these ladies bridal ornaments. So in the name of justice, your highness, pardon me, please forgive me and spare my life. I was just following your highness's order. He says that की महाराज तुमच्या आदेशाप्रमाणे मी राणीचे दागिने बनवत होतो. तुमच्या आदेशात असं म्हटलं होतं की त्यांच्या वाढदिवसाच्या पूर्वी दागिने मिळाले पाहिजेत आणि मी तुमची आज्ञा पालन करत होतो आणि म्हणून या मुलीच्या लग्नाचे दागिने बनवायला मला उशीर झाला. म्हणजे माझी काय चूक आहे? तर तुम्ही मला या शिक्षेपासून वाचवा. Then what does king says? King says, "Not another word. Your excuses does not hold good. Take the goldsmith away to the gallows and hang him at once." Now king is not in mood to listen any more excuses. He says, "Not another word. I don't want to hear now after this. Your excuse does not hold good. That is not a good excuse for the delaying of this lady's work. So take the goldsmith away to the gallows and hang him at once." So at last he has finalized that no more orders will be go, and now this is the last man to whom he has accused for the hanging on. And then again that goldsmith continue with his pleading. He says, "Have mercy, O generous king. I fall at thy feet. Please forgive me. Just once this time. Let me live. I have." So he again pleading, he continued pleading to the king. He says, "Have mercy, be kind to me, O generous king. I fall at thy feet." Thy means yours. I fall at thy feet. Please, please forgive me just once this time. Only once this is the last time, or once you forgive me. Let me live. I don't want to die. I have. And before he continue with his pleading, king interrupts, and he says loudly, "None of this anymore. Take him away at once. Let him hang to the death." Now king is really angry now. He doesn't want to listen any more excuses. So he orders, "None of this anymore. I don't want to listen anything now. Take him away at once and let him hang to the death. He is the culprit. So take him away and hang him on to the death." Then the two guards drag the wedding goldsmith away, and the courtiers and the others whispers to one another out of shock. Oh my God, actually the goldsmith was not culprit, that everyone was very aware about it, but it was after all king's order. Who can oppose him? And by the time the guards return with the goldsmith and the hangman, again you can see there goldsmith and the hangman has arrived in front of the king. Now king got annoyed. He says, "What? Why have you not carried out my orders? Hang the goldsmith at this moment, or else you will suffer the same punishment." Now he is annoyed, he is angry. He says, "What? Why have you brought it again in the court? And with this hangman also? Have you not carried out my orders? Why didn't you follow my orders? Hang the goldsmith at this moment, or else you will suffer the same punishment." Now he is ordering to the hangman that first of all you do be quick, hang this gold man, or with him you will also suffer the same punishment. त्याला जर तू फाशी नाही दिलीस तर तुला पण फाशी मिळेल. Now you can see there is a hangman, फाशी देणारा माणूस. So what does hangman wants to say after this? He says, "1,000 apologize, O great king, but this noose does not fit the goldsmith's neck. It is too loose." It shows the noose in his hands and it shows to the king. He says, "1,000 apologize, O great king, but this noose does not fit the goldsmith's neck. It is too loose. Goldsmith's neck is thin and this noose is too loose for him. It does not fit his neck. What should I do?" तो ती फाशीचा जो दोर असतो तो त्याला दाखवतो, तो जो हुक बनवलेला असतो आणि सांगतो की हा त्याला फिट नाही होत आहे, त्याच्या मानेसाठी हा खूपच लूज आहे. बघा आता कशी कारण, हाऊ द पॅरडी इट टेक्स प्लेस. सो ही सेज दिस इज does not fit to the goldsmith's neck. It is too loose for him. Then how should the king react on this? And see how does the king reacts on it. What does the king says? What does it he orders? He says, "Then try it around everyone's neck here and see who it fits. Whoever has a neck of the size of the nose must be hanged." This is so funny. Can we laugh on it? See how does the process of his thinking. He says, okay, if it doesn't fit for him, then try it around everyone's neck here in the court and see who it fits. Whoever has a neck of the size of this nose must be hanged. ठीक आहे, ह्याच्या मानेला बसत नाही ना, इथे दरबारात असलेल्या प्रत्येकाच्या गळ्यात तो अडकवून बघ, ज्याच्या गळ्याला फिट होईल त्याला फाशी दे. आता आपल्याकडे एक मराठीत म्हण आहे बघा, चोर सोडून संन्याशाला फाशी. ती इकडे लागू पडते की नाही हे तुम्ही बघा आता. ओके, सो लेट्स कंटिन्यू. देन try it around everyone's neck here and see who it fits. Whoever has a neck of the size of this nose must be hanged. And then hangman, holding a noose in his hand, he tries the nose on many of the subjects waiting for the justice. You can see here, they spur and resist, but the hangman with the help of the guards overpowers them. He tries each and everyone who is present in the court and waiting for the justice. And finally, what happened? So, the hangman tries everyone's neck who was present in the court for the justice, and at last it reaches to the disciple. And what does he find? He finds that the noose fits for the disciple, and he says, "Ah, your highness, it fits at last." So he relieves here, a sigh of relief. He says, "Ah, your highness, it fits at last. I have tried so many people, but it fits last. At last, it fits for the man who is standing in the corner of the court, and he was the disciple." Here, the disciple tried to defend himself. He is so surprised. Why should I? Why should I hang to the death? He says, but no one is going to listen to him now. Then king reacts. What is the king reaction after this? He says, "Ah, justice at last. Take him to the gallows without further delay." Now king is in hurry. Now he says, "Yes, now justice at last. Whoever is fit for that noose, take him to the gallows and without any further delay, just hang him on." Now he is in no mood to wait for long. He doesn't see into the matter, though that man has been did any mistake, or he is the culprit, or he is responsible for the thief's death, but he just want to give justice to the last person. So he says, "Yes, justice at last. Take him to the gallows without further delay." So here, children, you can see the thought process of that King Chaupat of Andher Nagari. And then he says, "Justice delayed is justice denied." Andher Nagari prides itself on prompt action. Our action speaks louder than words. King continue with his speech. He says, "Justice delayed is justice denied." If I delayed the justice, it is as equal as denied justice. So Andher Nagari itself is prides on prompt action. See, courtiers, how promptly I have taken the actions. Our action speaks louder than the words. We do not have to say more about it. So courtiers, justice delayed is justice denied. मी जर न्याय द्यायला उशीर केला असता तर तो न्याय नाकारल्यासारखा झाला असता. So Andher Nagari prides itself on prompt action. Our action speaks louder than words. Dear children, you can see here the mimic after this, behind this. He says he has so many proverbs in his pocket now to throw on. So he says, "Justice delayed, justice denied," and our action speaks louder than the words. And by the time King was giving a long speech, what happened? And there was voices and shouts heard from outside, and all the people re-enters in the court, the hangman, the disciple, and the guards, and with them one more person entered into the court. So king sees this, and he asks, "What? Why have you all returned with this stranger alive? And who is this man?" Guards, you didn't follow my order. Why have you all returned with this stranger alive? And who is this new man in the court? Why have you all come again in the court? And then question was asking to the guards. The first guard answers, I beg your pardon, your highness, but we are confused indeed. This old man rushed towards us as we were about to hang the young stranger and begged and pleaded that he should be hanged instead. Your Majesty, I beg your pardon, your highness, but even we are confused. As per your order, we were taking to this man, a stranger, to hang. But by the time this man had come in between the scene and he begged and pleaded that instead of this young man, he should be hanged himself. महाराज तुमच्या आदेशाप्रमाणे आम्ही ह्या अनोळखी माणसाला तर घेऊन जातच होतो फाशी द्यायला, पण तितक्यात हा एक नवीन आणखीनच कोणतरी माणूस आला आणि तो म्हणाला ह्याच्या जागी मला फाशी द्या. The second guard says, at first we thought the old man had lost his mental balance. What sane man would wish to suffer such a drastic death willingly? So the second guard continues with his answer. He says, oh, your highness, at first we thought the old man had lost his mental balance. We thought that this old man is not in the sound mental condition. What sane man would wish to suffer such a drastic death willingly? Any wise man, any wise person will be asking to the death willingly. No one will be ready to die. Then what happened? Even we were confused why this man has come in between these two and he is asking to hang him. Even we are confused. First of all, we thought that this man has lost his mental balance. He is not in a sound mental condition. So, what happened after that? Then the first guard says, but this young man says that he is a wise and learned sage from the forest yonder and he himself was this man's disciple. He says that again the first guard has to say something. He says, when the second guard says that, O king, we thought that this man has lost his mental balance, त्याची मानसिक स्थिती बिघडली आहे म्हणून हा माणूस मला फाशी द्या असं सांगतोय का, असा आम्ही विचार करत होतो. तितक्यात what the first guard has to say, he says, but this young man says that he is a wise and learned sage from the forest yonder and he himself was this man's disciple. आम्ही असा विचार करत होतो की या माणसाचं बहुतेक मानसिक संतुलन बिघडलंय, ह्याची मानसिक स्थिती बरोबर नाहीये. पण तेवढ्यात हा तरुण मुलगा म्हणाला की ही इज अ लर्नेड सेज फ्रॉम द फॉरेस्ट यॉन्डर अँड ही हिमसेल्फ वॉज दिस मॅन्स डिसिप्लिन. पण तेवढ्यात हा तरुण मुलगा म्हणाला की ते तर फार विद्वान असे ऋषीमुनी आहेत आणि मी त्यांचा शिष्य आहे. आता काय करायचं? देन आफ्टर दिस, as soon as the first guard finishes his explanation, the sage says, O noble king, you are most generous. Be kind and allow me to be hanged in place of my disciple, I beg of you. So now the sage requests the king. What does he request? He says, O noble king, you are most generous, you are very kind, and so be kind and allow me to be hanged in place of my disciple. Leave my disciple and in place of him I should be hanged. I beg of you, I request you. Now there is a turn of king to get confused. He says, now king is confused and he says, what a strange appeal. And why does such a wise and holy man wish to obstruct the course of justice? May I ask? So king is now in double mind. What is this appeal? Why this old sage is appealing me for the hanging himself? So he asked him, And why does such a wise and holy man wish to obstruct the course of justice? मला आता एक प्रश्न पडलाय की हे जे साधू आहेत, ऋषीमुनी आहेत, ते माझ्या कोर्टाच्या कामात का बरं अडथळा आणतायत? मला आता प्रश्न पडलाय. मी विचारू शकतो का हे की तुमच्यासारखा ऋषितुल्य माणूस स्वतःला फाशीच्या फंद्यापर्यंत, फाशीच्या दोऱ्यापर्यंत घेऊन जा असं का बरं सांगताय? This the king replies, Your Majesty, the truth is, no, I cannot say it. Now here, the sage showing reluctance to let it out its secret. आता ते जे साधू असतात त्यांना ते असं दाखवतात की जणू काही त्यांना एखादं सिक्रेट माहिती आहे पण त्यांना ते सांगायचं नाहीये. He says, Your Majesty, the truth is, he is about to tell the truth, but he says, No, I can't say it. नाही, मी नाही सांगू शकत. Then king says, I demand an explanation or I shall not have you hanged in place of your disciple. Now see how's the king's turn back. He says, I demand an explanation. Now I want explanation for you or I shall not have you hanged in place of your disciple. तुम्ही मला त्याचं कारण सांगा नाहीतर तुमच्या शिष्याच्या जागी मी तुम्हाला फाशी देणार नाही. आतापर्यंत काय होतं? एक्सप्लेनेशन ऐकून पण तो काय करत होता राजा? चला फाशीला न्या, फाशीला न्या. आता इकडे त्यांना काय सांगतो तो? तुम्ही मला एक्सप्लेनेशन नाही दिलं तर मी तुम्हाला फाशी नाही देणार. सी द humorous turn here. Now what does that says? He says, you see, it has been predicted by the great prophets. No, I shouldn't say this. Now that sage is about to say something, you say, it has been predicted by the great prophet. No, I shouldn't say this. असं कोणीतरी एका सांगून गेलेला आहे बुद्धिमान माणसाने, पण जाऊ देत, मला नाही सांगायचं. Now king gets annoyed. He says, speak out at once or your disciple will be hanged. Now king has been annoyed. आता तो खूप चिडचिडला. He says, speak out at once or your disciple will be hanged. I'm not going to listen you anymore. Either you speak or your disciple will be hanged at this moment. Then what did that sage has to say? He says, the great prophets have foretold that the one who will be hanged on this day in this kingdom shall become the next king and conquer many more nations. I want to become the next great king, Your Majesty, and reign over a great country. I'll go down in history as a famous royal monarch. The future generations will read about me and my greatness for millenniums to come. I shall never earn that fame if I remain a recluse, a sage. So do grant me this favor. O king, let me die at the gallows today. So here, what does that sage say? The great prophets have foretold that the one who will be hanged on this day in his kingdom shall become the next king and conquer many more nations. महाराज, असे एक महान परमात्मा सांगून गेलेले आहेत की आजच्या दिवशी जो कोणी मरेल तो याच्या नंतरचा राजा बनेल तुमच्या नंतर आणि या जगावर राज्य करेल. आणि मला तर बाबा पुढचा राजा बनायचंय आणि मला खूप साऱ्या देशांवर राज्य करायचंय आणि इतिहासात एक उत्तम प्रशासक म्हणून माझं नाव होईल आणि पिढ्या लोक माझा इतिहास वाचतील आणि मला खूप फेमस व्हायचंय आणि मी जर असा साधू राहिलो तर मी काय फार फेमस नाही होणार, तर मला मरू द्या प्लीज, आज मला मरू द्या. सो ही रिक्वेस्ट द किंग. नाउ आफ्टर दिस king thinks for a second and says, the next king, and this kingdom will expand. Glory for millenniums to come, huh? Why no one but I should be entitled to this privilege? Now, as we know, the king's thought process, how does it take place? He says, okay, the next king. You want to be the next king. And this kingdom will expand. Glory for millenniums to come. Okay. And why no one but I should be entitled to this privilege? He says, okay, अच्छा पुढचा राजा तुम्हाला बनायचंय आणि राज्य विस्तार करायचंय आणि पिढ्यानपिढ्या युगानुयुग तुम्ही फेमस होणार मग मीच का नको होऊ बरं. So now king orders his guards, guards, take me to the gallows and hang me at once without any delay. Hurry up, don't waste time. What a wonderful fate in my next life. A king once again. Goodbye world, goodbye. See you again. Now king is in hurry to hang himself. He orders his guards to take him to the gallows and hang him at once without any delay. And he thinks for his next life. He says, once again I'll be a king. And so he see-offs the world. And there the ends of the part second. So children, I hope you must have enjoyed this part too. So after watching this second part, you re-watch the first part. And continuously if you watch part first and second, you will see how the Andher Nagri and Chopat Raja was and how this comedy has been written by the writer. So now we will do the activity from this play. So there are some activities. After watching both the parts, you can do this. List the characters that appear for the first time in this part of the play. In the second part, I mean. Write 1 or 2 lines about each of them. Now we have listed some characters from the part first. Now here again from part second, you list down the characters who had appeared in this part for the first time and write at least 1 or 2 lines about them. Then write any 3 instances of funny rules and twisted logic used in अंधेर नगरी. पहिलं तर ह्या पार्ट मध्ये जे कोणी नवीन कॅरेक्टर्स आले ते लिस्ट आउट करा आणि त्यांच्याबद्दल 1-2 वाक्य लिहा. आणि दुसरं म्हणजे या अंधेर नगरी मधले मजेशीर जे नियम आहेत आणि जे काही लॉजिक त्या राजाकडून वापरलं गेलंय ते सुद्धा फाइंड आउट करून लिहा. And translate 1 page of the play into your mother tongue. Try to translate any 1 page which you enjoyed a lot while reading and watching this video. So translate the page in your mother tongue. Okay?
That's all for today. So you